I will be editing out the first portion of this video, so if you're watching it, don't worry, it is currently being edited on YouTube and just taking a couple of hours before the final video does get out. So I will be starting here in just a couple of seconds while the graphics fix themselves. I'm not quite sure why XSplit keeps doing this, but not much fun. So I will be starting here in a couple of seconds. Welcome everybody, my name is MrLlama, and today I am bringing you a PvP which surprisingly has become one of my favorite matchups despite I used to hate it. So now I seem to love this matchup. It's just so fun to watch, and it is between RGNinori, who is on Team SCV Life, and a lot of people think that is why Polt went to SCV Life is for Inori, because they did go to high school together, and I think primary school as well. So Polt, of course, as you all know, is the amazing Terran. And then down here in the bottom right corner, we do have dmBoyo, and he is the 15-year-old Protoss player. So you have to love anytime a 15-year-old player can be Grandmasters, can be an amazing pro player. So just very impressive play by him right there. And this is going to spawn cross position, and it is MLG Antiga Shipyard. Which, is that always cross position? I want to say yes. I'm going to say I'm 98%. I'm going to say 100%. No, I'm going to say 99 just to make sure, just in case it's not. But I believe it is always cross position, so I'm not quite sure if this is a practice game between them. I believe it is. And it looks like it's going to be that gate first right there from both players. We'll have to see if they get their gases or if there's any sort of two-gate. That is really the first initial thing that you have to look for, so it looks like both players are going to be getting those gases immediately as soon as they can. Actually, Inori taking a little bit extra time there, so he's going to get that. He's going to spend the minerals on the probe there instead of dropping that gas, so his gas is going to be tiny bit delayed by, like, you know, what, 5 seconds. But every second adds up in mirror matchups. Of course, it's just like every larva adds up. Just like Stefano says, whenever he spawns in this top position, he's like, oh, now I'm at a disadvantage because my larvae spawn down here at the bottom of my hatchery, and they take the long way to get to the minerals instead of like his opponents, which just jump to the minerals immediately. So, second pylon's going down. There's the cybernetics core for both players, and we'll have to see what exactly they decide to do, who gets that early second gas, and who decides to tech up, versus if there's going to be a 4-gate at all off the 1 gas. You never really know. So an early scout there by dmBoyo, and RGNinori going to be scouting. So this is why I'm not 100% sure it's not cross, as both players scouted down here as well. So I'm going to imagine that it's not always fixed cross positions. I want to say it is. I feel like it always is. Every time I play MLG Antiga Shipyard, it's always cross positions, I feel like. But they both scouted over here first. So maybe that's just routine from ladder. They're just saying, okay, you know, I always scout there, so I'm just continue scouting there. So a Zealot has been pumped out here for both players, and it looks like there's a Stalker as well being produced. Is it chrono boosted out? No, it's not being chrono boosted by Inori. So Inori going to have that early Stalker Zealot to go ahead and do a little pressure with, while dmBoyo opting to get out the Sentry. And dmBoyo took an earlier second gas, I believe, than Inori. I know they both took a second gas. I think Boyo's was a little bit earlier, but they both are going to be going for some sort of tech somewhat. So another Stalker being chrono boosted out here, and this is an extremely strong army. Zealot, Stalker, one of the strongest early game armies you can have. And no scout there for the probe. So what do we have back here? Is that a rowboat? No, it is a Stargate. So we have 2-gate Stargate right now, and we'll have to see if he throws down a third gateway or not. I would imagine he is going for the Phoenix that Huck opened with in MLG Columbus, I believe. Was it Columbus? I think it was Columbus, but Huck started doing this PvP build with Phoenix, and it was just insane. He could just lift off all of his opponent's important units, and then his ground army would clean up the ground, and then as soon as all of the Phoenix couldn't lift anything else, they would just snipe them off as well. So let's see what exactly he does decide to produce out of this first. And yes, he's going for the Phoenix and getting the robotics facility as well. And I really like the robotics facility in this build, as you can pump out that fast immortal, and if you could pick up your opponent's strong units, you can pick up your opponent's immortals to just weaken the army even for a tiny bit. Your immortal can do so much damage. So In the meantime, we have Inori taking a second gate, a Robo, and he is going to take an expansion as well. So going for a very early fast expand, abusing the fact that he saw a sentry at his opponent's base. So he knew his opponent was going to go for some sort of tech right there. And he's going to try and pump out a fast Nexus right here and get enough units out so that when his opponent does go for some sort of push, he will be able to deal with it. So continuing to just boost that Phoenix count right there. Getting out an observer to scout what his opponent's doing, as you want to know exactly what your opponent's up to. However, unfortunately, this Robo will be done, and the observer pumping out of here should be done in time if he goes observer first, so that they will cross paths, and it's very possible that the observer of Boyo will be killed off by the time it gets there, which is not something that you want to see happen at all if you are Boyo. So there is the fast observer and a Twilight Council going down as well. So 3-gate Twilight Robo, and he does have his expansion down here. So we are going to have to see Boyo do some damage if he wants to get back in this game. And I don't mean back in this game like he is down because he lost anything, as units lost tab is minimal. Actually, Inori lost a few units right over there. Well, I guess when he pushed up with that army into the Stalker and Zealot, or into the Sentry and Zealots. But yeah, so here we go. Some damage going to be done with these Phoenix, just going to pick up, and beautiful micro right there, and runs out of energy, unfortunately, but able to kill off how many workers? 6 workers killed right there. Very quickly with those Phoenix, so trying to even it out, and yes, he does. He evens that right back up, so that is how it's going to be able to stay in this game with those Phoenix if he continues to play smart with them like that. And we'll have to see when he drops an expansion down, though. That is what I am wondering. No, a couple of probes are going to go ahead and head forward, so it looks like he's going to possibly drop a pylon down here, use the Phoenix for scouting up, and then warp in. That is my guess. That's just me. Or is he taking a fast gold? So sneaky play from Boyo. He's abusing the fact that he has the map control with those Phoenix. His opponent is kind of stuck in his base. He sees that with the expansion right here. And not a very big army there for Inori. And he's going to try and sneak out the gold. So I love that play. And once again, he's going to push in with these Phoenix, try and pick off a few more probes. He sees that his opponent's army is stuck over here to the right, so he's just going to head left. And pick up sentries actually, and try and pick off sentries. So I like that play, smart play, and sentries you do not want building up all that energy. Its Guardian Shield can go down, etc. And once again, going to go ahead and take out another sentry. So huge plays by Boyo, playing so smart. And a third sentry as well going to go down. However, Blink has now finished here for Inori, so we are going to have to see Boyo be a little more careful. He did not lose a single Phoenix there. However, they did take some decent damage on them, and here we go. More Phoenix going to push into the front, but they are going to get sniped off, and it's possible that Inori will be pushing out with this. The gold has not quite finished yet, so this could be a bad timing for Boyo if Inori decides to push out. And here we go. Inori, yes, pushing out. Since he does have that blink, he does have a superior unit count to his opponent, and the Phoenix now going to have to join up with the army. The gold has finished, but it is not going to be able to be mined, and now he's just trying to force his opponent's back as much as he can, keep him from pushing forward. And it looks like a free probe right here going to get picked off and killed. And the unit's now pushing forward to meet up against the army. There are 3 immortals in the army here of Boyo, so that is definitely going to be helpful for him to deal damage to this army. He's also picked up an immortal, so going to be able to snipe off that immortal with those Phoenix, it looks like. So both of those immortals have been picked up, and I love this play here from Boyo, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Will it be enough? Yes, possibly. Those 3 immortals just do so much damage right there, and the Phoenix, as I was talking about before, able to pick up the important units, so he's able to pick up the immortals of his opponent, Inori right there, able to snipe one off, keep the other suspended from doing any damage, and immortal versus Stalker, that is so in favor of the red Protoss right there of Boyo. So now he's going to get this gold expansion started to be saturated. He's going to be able to start mining from this. And Twilight Council going down for him as well. So it's possible he'll be moving into some sort of blink as well, possibly getting Charge Lot. What does he have? A lot of in his army. He's pretty even on both of those. And is he making anything more out of his target? No, he is not. A little bit of Chrono Boost waste going down on his Robux Bay, but nothing too bad. And will he be going for any sort of other expansion? I don't think so. I think he's just going to try and push the advantage he has by having that gold right there, because the longer he sits on the gold, the more resources he gets over his opponent. And just doing a beautiful job scouting all around, able to pick off probes left and right. If we look at the income tab, it is actually fairly even thanks to all of the probe kills. by Boyo. So it looks like we might be having another engagement here pretty soon. Charge has finished for Anori. So this is going to be huge right here. And it looks like Boyo might be in a little bit of trouble. He's going to warp in a couple of centuries. Charge goes down though. And I don't know if he's going to be able to deal with this. That is a lot of units there for Anori. And the blink goes in. He's able to start picking off the Stalkers. However, the lifts go off on the Immortals there. So smart play. But the Phoenix are able to get focused down as there are just so many Stalkers right there. And I think the Charge are going to be able to do this here for Anori. He's going to be able to push forward, taking out all of these Immortals, and GG from Boyo. So it's not going to pay off taking that gold. It was just a little bit too late. He was not able to get the supply that he needed to really deal with the army there of Anori. So well played by both players. I love the idea, Boyo, but Anori able to take that really fast expansion and just abuse the economy that he had over his opponent for such a decent amount of time. And yeah, so well played there by both players, but Anori going to take it. So I hope you enjoyed this cast, everybody. My name is Mr. Llama, and it was a pleasure.